Okay, so the first question asks about, list the things that make me happy. And so I guess it's kind of weird because one of the things on that list would be people. And right now it's just me in a room and I'm talking to a camera. But I know that, eventually my voice and my, nonverbal expressions will go through to you. And so I guess that's some type of way that it shows, this is making me happy because I'm able to connect with someone right now. And I think that is at the bottom of, at the very base of what makes me happy is other people. Um, there's that saying, man is an island, and I subscribe to that because, if any one of us were to go it alone, um, I'd be surprised to see how far any of us got because in the grand scheme of things, it's our connections and our dependence on one another. Not to say that anyone can't be independent, but so much so to the fact that even those that are extremely independent, work with other people and live in an environment with other people. And so one of the things that makes me happy is people and seeing other people happy. And so I think that drives me to do some of the things that I do, knowing that, wow, what I'm getting involved in right now is going to make a difference to other people. It's going to make them happier. It's going to enable them to live their lives in a happier state or more easily. And so I think, that fundamental feeling is what makes me happy and therefore, what motivates me to do what I do. So people. But then on the other hand, what other things that make me happy? Animals. You throw a picture of a puppy or a cat or any type of creature in front of me, and I will swoon. And that's probably something that I've done more so because of my sister, because she's really into animals. But here's plugs for some sites. If you ever go to cuteoverload.com or dailypuppy.com, those are like instant pick me ups for me. If ever I'm having a bad day, it's just something about seeing something that's, I guess you can quote me on this, adorable, that just, it lightens you up inside. And since I've been on this planet or whatever, I've been fortunate enough to have animals in my lives and some really great pets. And they've done a lot for me because I think, especially one of my dogs, Callie, she was a black lab, and I had her in my life since I was, less than 10, so maybe like 8 years old until I was 18. And, that's a really critical stage of development. And looking back on it, I claim that she's how I learned to love because she's a dog and she was doing her own dog thing, which was just to unconditionally love her family and everyone that was around her. And so it sounds kind of funny, but I mean, I'm really thankful that she was in my life and that she, was able to bestow this idea of just completely kind of submitting yourself and just loving every minute of life and being around people and that type of stuff. So animals and pets are something that make me happy too. And I guess another thing that makes me happy is learning or education. And it's probably the most nerdy type cliche answer I could give. I don't know, but it's truly true for me in the sense that uh, if the way I consider learning is it is a positive thing in all aspects. When you learn something, you can only grow from it. Um, learn from your mistakes. A mistake, which is generally seen as something negative, if you learn from it, you're taking a positive experience from that negative experience. And so, as bad as it can get, if you learn something and you grow from it, if you adapt from it, then that's a positive thing. And positivity then relates to happiness for me. So, while yes, at times learning can be frustrating in class or if it's, busy work or something, in the end, you know, gaining that information and knowing that that's a part of you and no one can take that away from you, and then being able to apply what you've learned to make a difference to other people or to other animals. I mean, it's just this connection you know, what it means to live, what it means to be human, I don't know, to learn. And so that's something that really makes me happy. And so I guess what gets me in this like flow and when I feel really good about doing something, it's when these things kind of come together. And I kind of already spoke about it a little bit earlier, but the idea that, you know, I'm learning something new, something that's going to be helpful to other people, and I feel really good when I'm doing something, when I'm in that flow of figuring out how I can connect disparate things to one another that maybe other people haven't thought of before, or that my mind is set up to say, oh, this kind of relates to this thing in this new way, or there's a parallel between these two things. And when I can bring those together and say, oh, wow, how can I use just what I've just learned to, you know, how can I apply that to a business idea, or how can I apply that to a group project idea, and how can I take what I've learned and then apply it. And that process is what I get excited about. Like I can count the times that I've been sitting there and something will come up in class and my mind will wander, but it's because I've learned something, and then the wandering is the learning sparking an idea or sparking something that I can go with. Or and then what excites me is, oh man, and then it could be used in this way, and then I could, you know, oh, and it'd be great if then it was, you know, shown in this way or whatever, and if people knew about this and all that stuff. And that just drives me. And so I guess to answer this question, it would be that happiness for me comes from people, comes from animals, and comes from learning. So that's my first answer, and stay tuned for the rest. Hey, another thing I forgot that makes me happy is music, and creativity and art, and humans learning and humans doing art. So yeah, I can't forget to add that to my list of things that make me happy, because it's universal. It speaks to everyone. It connects people. It brings back memories. It helps you plan for what you're going to be doing. It can set a mood. So yeah, so I really like music. And to give you a sample, I could sing, but I wouldn't know what to sing. So instead I'll beatbox, because I actually kind of feel more confident with that. So here we go. And let's see if I can do any. Okay, rock your body. Oh, and then another thing about music. Recently, or over the summer, I purchased the Saved Our 4 album, or Instant Karma, which features a bunch of covers of John Lennon songs, and I found his lyrics to be extremely profound and deep and forward-thinking. And so, as an addendum to my music statement, I really like positive lyrics, positive music, music that makes you think, music that isn't just about, you know, the popular things like love, or things love can lead to, but, you know, this idea of, you know, imagine what the world could be like, and instant karma, and that we're all gonna shine on. Anyways, John Lennon. I guess he's kind of at the top of my music list, along with Guster and and some other bands, but we can get into that at another